Hello, everyone. This is going to be a quick video on finding partners. And it doesn't matter if you are a bond property with 1,000 required services or if you're one of the properties that are only required to have one service a quarter. It never hurts to have partners. The more partners you find for services, the easier your life as a manager will be. And if you struggle to find time to get everything in, the more partners you have, the easier it will be to have that time managed because you will have someone taking a huge load off of you by being the presenter of a service instead of you having to present a service. So, the very first thing that you need to do, which I have been telling you to do since 2017, is to connect with your Texas AgriLife Extension agent. If you do not have a Texas AgriLife County Extension agent and you have been working with us for more than a year, do not tell me because I might want to just die inside because it will make me so sad, especially if you have worked here for longer than I have and you don't have a county extension agent. I really might just faint that away. Like, this is the best free resource in the entire world. And if you don't have a county extension agent saved on your computer, their contact information, you are wasting precious, 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 valuable resources. These people are a huge asset. And depending on what county you live in, they might offer like an endless supply of programs and services for you. And they do fitness, they do health, they do nutrition, they do diabetes, they do housekeeping, they do budgeting, they do babysitting, they do master gardeners and community gardens. I mean, you you name it, they probably have at least one program that can connect to any service you might need for your property. And they're free. And for them to maintain their funding, they need to do these programs. So take advantage of them because you're helping each other. You need to become best friends with one of your county extension agents. They are awesome. And I'm going to brag on Susan at Silver Trails. She's made a connection with hers, and while she's doing her rehab and with some of the COVID mess, that agent is still sending information and handouts where Susan can still provide a service for her residents, even if the agent can't physically be at the property because it's in disarray from a rehab. These people are awesome, so you need to use them. Okay, if you do not have a county extension agent, please do not tell me. Please just find it. So when I ask you if you have one, you can tell me yes. All you have to do is Google Texas AgriLife County Extension Agent and it pops right up. You will be able to find yours. Another great resource is Aunt Bertha, which I've sent out the link numerous times. Caroline from Milam and Stepping Stone found this and shared it with me, and it is an amazing resource. If you type in Williamson County Aunt Bertha, it will give you the website, but all you have to do is type in your zip code, and a ton of resources that are available pop up, and they'll give you websites, contact information, what they do, and I've made a lot of great connections for different properties through that website. So that is another great resource. And you are a great resource. I know that not all of you live in the same town and community where you manage your property, but if you're willing to commute to that property, do you not think people that live near you would not be willing to commute to that property for a service? Like, obviously, if you live in the community, you're going to have a lot more connections. But who's to say that your connections where you live wouldn't be willing to travel to your work to support you once a month or once a quarter or once a year? Okay, so don't underestimate the people you know. Okay, if you need a personal insurance guy to come do a workshop, who does your personal insurance? Ask him if he'll come do a presentation. If you need any kind of financial program, who do you bank with? Ask your banker. Or does your property have a local bank? Ask them. Say, hey, we need some financial education. Would you be willing to come do this? If you need any of the health screening, education, any of those health and nutrition services, ask your doctor, ask your friend who's a nurse, ask your friend who's a pediatrician, ask, you know, it doesn't hurt to ask. And if they can't do it, maybe they can point you in the direction to someone who can. If you go to church, ask people in your church or ask your church. Linda Redden from Georgetown, she is the queen of finding partners. And she went to 5 or 6 churches in Georgetown and just kind of did a 5-minute speech like, this is what I do, this is what I need. Would any of you be willing? And a couple of the churches, like the church, used her property as a ministry opportunity, and the church sponsored things on property. Whereas other churches, there were a few members who were like, this is a great opportunity for me to donate my time and to donate back to the community. So don't underestimate the power of churches. And even if you don't go to the church, you can still approach them and say, hey, could you put this in your bulletin? Could you make this announcement? And very, very rarely are you going to be turned down. Um, Also, use social media. I don't know how many of you are on social media, and there's various platforms, but take advantage of it. If you need more books for your lending library, say it. Put it on social media. Say, hey, I'm trying to build up my library on my property and I really could use some more books. So if you're cleaning things out and you're getting rid of books, don't throw them away. Please donate them to me and I would be very appreciative. Um, and if you have some really awesome friends, maybe they'll share it and it will help your post grow more. I know when I was doing the after school program, we had some kids that weren't in the program come and steal all of our footballs. And I just put something on Facebook. I kind of vented and I said, it's really sad, when people come and steal things, but it's also a good lesson, to my elementary school students that this is what happens when you don't take care of your things and you leave them on the playground instead of bringing them inside like you were supposed to between classes. Um, and I didn't even say we needed more footballs. I just was kind of venting my frustration at the thieves, but also using it as a teaching moment for my students as, hey, you're supposed to bring these in while we transition between activities, and you didn't. And, we lost footballs. But putting that on Facebook, we had 5 people donate footballs to our program. Okay. And I hadn't even thought of that as a way to get them replaced, but that's how it worked out. But just think how much better it would have been if I said, hey, does anyone have any footballs? 3 of the 5 we got were used and they still worked amazing. So don't underestimate the power of social media, especially when you're using it for good. There's so much negativity out there right now on it that I think a lot of people, when they see something good and positive that they could be a part of, that they're going to pay a lot more attention to it. Um, Obviously, I am here to help you find partners. and want to be there to support you and make those connections. But also, I don't want you to wait for me to do it for you. Like, I can email from here in Burnet, Texas, but it's going to be so much more powerful if you ask your friend to help as opposed to me asking your friend to help. Um, so just keep those in mind. I'm going to be sending out some links and some more information to follow up on this. But definitely take a moment to think about what you need, because you actually might have a lot more connections than you think. So have a great day.